the criminal acts of the Israeli occupation forces against civilians. None of them used any fire weapon or lethal weapon.
Disproportionate force and live ammunition to kill civilians premeditatively.
Genocidal actions against the heroic people of Palestine protesting in dignity and peace.
Horrific violations by the Israeli forces.
Systematic aggression of Israel against the Palestinian people. The massacres perpetrated in cold blood.
Impose horrible bloodshed and political tensions in the region.
Indiscriminate killing and wounding by the Israeli military constitute war crimes and anti-human rights crimes.
Terrible massacres carried out by Israel against Palestinian civilians.
United Nations Watch, you have the floor.
I commanded British troops in Afghanistan, Iraq, the Balkans and Northern Ireland, and served with NATO and the UN. I've come straight from the Gaza front line to share my assessment. Based on what I observed, I can say that everything we just heard here is a complete distortion of the truth. The truth is that Hamas, a terrorist organization that seeks the destruction of Israel and murder of Jews everywhere, deliberately caused over 60 of its own people to get killed. They sent thousands of civilians to the front line as human shields to terrorists trying to break through the border. Hamas's goals, in their own words, was, quote, blood in the path of jihad. I ask every country in this council, you've all been telling us that Israel should have reacted differently, but how would you respond if a jihadist terror group sent thousands to flood your borders and gunmen to massacre your communities? Your failure to admit that Hamas is responsible for every drop of blood spilt on the Gaza border encourages their violence and use of human shields. It makes you complicit in further bloodshed. If Israel had allowed these mobs to break through the fence, the IDF would then have been forced to defend their own civilians from slaughter, and many more Palestinians would have been killed. Israel's actions therefore saved lives of Gazans, and if this council really cared about human rights, it should commend the Israel Defense Force for that, not condemn them on the basis of lies.